Hello, everyone, to our third session. The third session is about the benefits of the Cryptounit blockchain, its tokens, and functionality. This is our regular sound check. Please let us know if you can hear me well. But before we start, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Olga Skolibog, and today I will be happy to share with you the information that in due time was very meaningful and valuable for me. In early 2000s, I worked in a bank. I was invited and hired with a very good social package, fringe benefits, but at the same time, my task was to attract more clients to the bank, both individuals and businesses, and I was awarded quite well. And you know, that was the first time when I got a question. It would be great if I'm not paid a bonus for what I do for my work, but I would get a percentage of the revenues generated by bank. My husband at that time started to work in a private business, and for the stake in this business, he decided to develop that business. But unfortunately, neither the return on the bank revenues and our stake in this business, we didn't get it. But in 2014, we already started to get crowd investing to know better. And in 2015, thanks to the knowledge received from the academy, we continued. And in 2017, in December, it helped me become a certified coach of the training simulator Genius of Finance. And you know, I actually mastering all those skills and knowledge. Today, I will host this webinar, and hopefully my knowledge, my experience will be useful to all of you, and it will generate a good return. What are we going to discuss today? First of all, the benefits of Cryptounit blockchain tokens, how they will help you to achieve your goals, some characteristics to remember, how all these tokens are interlinked, and how one token may impact other tokens. We will look at smart contracts and talk a bit about the digital guarantees and why Cryptounit blockchain is a unique opportunity to issue new tokens of businesses. And we will talk about all this today. And next slide. Let's have a look at our 4 tokens. Cryptounit blockchain tokens. There are 4 of them: WCRU, UNTB, CRU, and USDU. And we will discuss each of them in detail. And the first token to study is WCRU. Well, what is this token about? This is an equivalent of a share. This is an index-based token that reflects your stake in a company, your title of ownership to the company, and your entitlement to bonuses or dividends. This token has its initial price, which is indicated in the white paper, which also includes the conditions, the terms and conditions of this token, as well as the effects which may impact the value of the token. So altogether, there will be 80 billion tokens issued, and this token is publicly available after a period of 365 days unfreezing period of 365 days, but we will discuss this unfreezing period a bit later. Well, here you may know, or maybe you hear about this the first time, that the exclusive rights to sell World CRU tokens belong to UGP Group AG. And if you sign up in the back office of this company, you get some benefits. What are they? You get a possibility to create a crypto wallet in the back office. And at the same time, you get 10 UNTB tokens as a gift. Simply, since you start, you sign up and you get access to a crypto wallet and you get a gift. And you know, there is another unique opportunity, unique right you get, and that is to get access to the entire new ecosystem. And new, its mission, new is new economic evolution of the world. And the mission of the new ecosystem is to provide financial education to at least 15% of the global population, enabling all of us to be both the clients of some products, customers of some products and services, but at the same time to be co-owners of all these benefits, not only consume them, use them, but to get some income. Please tell me if you like this opportunity. Give me one in the chat box if you like this possibility of being a co-owner of the portfolio and getting the income or dividends. Well, thank you very much. Next slide, please. There is another benefit which you get as soon as you sign up in UGP Group back office. So you can buy World CRU tokens with at least 10 US dollars. So this token evolves in stages, and at each stage it has its own value. Today its value is 50 cents, but this is the temporary condition, because starting the 16th of August there will be a new period started, a new stage of this token development, and its value will increase up to 80 cents. Look, now we have this session and you may benefit from this information because today, right now, its value is 50 cents, whereas in September, starting from the 6th of August, it will cost 16th of August, it will cost 18 cents, and in September, its price will be $1 US. Well, and here you see that World CRUs could be in two states. The first one is frozen and the other one is unfrozen. And let us explore it more. Well, a token is frozen when you may not transfer, you may not carry out some operations, but after 365 days pass, it starts unfreezing and is getting liquid. And in this state, you may transfer and dispose of it. So it can move freely. And the unfreezing period starts after 365 days in 3 years. Here in this table, you see the stages of unfreezing, starting from 1% of your package, of your portfolio of World CRUs. And for instance, if you have 1,000 tokens in your portfolio, then 1% of this after 365 days will be unfrozen. And this process of unfreezing lasts 3 years. And after all the tokens are unfrozen, you can dispose of them as you wish. And this is a good possibility, as the company may influence some processes and we may plan some actions. So we may have our plans, and I believe whenever a person plans, he is better organized and can manage to do a lot. This is a good benefit. And you know, even when CRU tokens are frozen, non-liquid, non-movable, so they allow us to generate an income, staking income. It means that all your tokens, if you stake them, then they will generate income in the form of another token, that is UNTB. We will explore it as well. And according to the statistics, if you go to Cryptounit Exchange Explorer and go to the tab World CRU, you will see that 1 billion World CRU tokens are not staked. I'm curious, who are the owners of these tokens? Are these owners so generous? And you want other token holders to generate more income, or there are some other reasons why you haven't staked them yet, and you may correct it and get passive income instantly. Let's move on. And there is another benefit of World CRU token. Loyalty bonus. What is it about? All those loyal clients the company has, the company provides some accruals as a loyalty bonus that makes up 5% of World CRU sales in this present month. And this 5% is allocated to each World CRU token. And this loyalty bonus will be paid out until October 2021. Therefore, we do still have a possibility to take advantage of this bonus. Let's explore an example. What does this loyalty bonus give to the loyal customers, clients? At closed meetings, we get some reports with the sales over the previous month. Understanding these sales, you may estimate 5% of these sales and estimate the ratio by dividing by the number of World CRU on the market. In case last month the sales are 1 billion, then 5%, 1 million, 5% is 50,000. 50,000 to be divided, the number of World CRUs continuously change and it increases, but today, as you see, on average, I take the number of 24 billion and the ratio is 0.65 digits, 385. So if you have 10,000 World CRU tokens in your portfolio, then your bonus will be $0.02 US. But the picture will be different if the sales over the previous months will be 1 billion already. Then 5% is 50 million to be divided by the same number of World CRU tokens on the market. The ratio is much better, 0.202385. And if you have in your portfolio 10,000 World CRU tokens, your loyalty bonus will be $20 US, much better. Will you agree? Therefore, the higher the sales are, then accordingly, this bonus will get bigger. And we still have some time until October to get these accruals. And this is not the only benefit of World CRU token. I believe that this is the key benefit and I like it most. Give me 10 if you like that this token is a part of our global investment portfolio. There are people who agree with me. Thank you. And this diagram highlights the significance of World CRU tokens. All those amounts that are invested into the global investment portfolio are distributed among 20 economic segments or sectors. But 20 sectors does not mean that we have only 20 cells where we invest. It means that in each of these segments, there could be a lot of different financial and business instruments. And if today there are hundreds of such instruments, it's not the ceiling. And in this diagram, you see some empty cells, which means or indicates a unique feature or
So what do we have now? Let's take a look at the sectors that have already that are already represented in our portfolio, which is the culture, education, transportation, gold mining, the real estate. Also, we have financial and stock market, crypto market. You know, lots of people might say, look, it's so difficult, complex, so many instruments. Well, probably yes. If you look at it at a huge supermarket of opportunities, like a huge online store that has lots of goods and services. But if you go to a regular supermarket, you go there for something specific. Therefore, here you can also choose what you're most interested in. And tomorrow you can choose something else. But take a look at this huge hypermarket of financial and investment instruments, because everything that we have in our investment portfolio is co-owned by you because you hold WCRU tokens. And I'm sure there is something that will be of your liking. There is another thing that I would like to dwell on, and let's talk about it on the next slide. So our global investment portfolio, which is the underlying asset for our WCRU token, has very different proposals, offers, projects. For example, one of such projects is the basalt fiber technology. And already we had the first batch of products produced by this basalt producing factory in Poland, Gdańsk. And also, we need to talk about the market expansion here. Just imagine a situation when, for example, I've told you already that we've been dealing with air conditioners for several decades. So people who back in early 2000s started importing and selling air conditioners made quite a lot of money. Imagine a company is entering the market right now. So they will have to really struggle for their niche in the market, for their share of the market. And this is very important. This is called market development. Whereas the basalt fiber technology, due to its unique technology, does not have really any competitors. And we can produce 50% of the things that surround us from basalt, whereas metal is quite dirty in terms of environment, and it is energy intensive. Whereas basalt, you can really produce anything from it. You can replace metal. You can replace plastic with it. Just think about the promises of the development of this technology and its penetration into the market. The very financial potential that this particular technology hides. And this is all serves as the underlying asset, among others, for the WCRU token. And we, as the co-owners, as the holders of WCRUs, also are part of this process. And we have, let's call it a whale, and we have several such whales. That's why the WCRU token will grow. Let's see what kind of money, what kind of payments we can receive from that. The first one is the WCRU profi-bonus, which is awarded monthly to the WCRU holders in proportion to the number of tokens they hold. And it can vary from 8 to 35% over a certain period. So this is very important thing that I would like to draw your attention to. The objective of the company by 2028 to reach the value of the portfolio of $100 trillion. With this much money in the portfolio, the value of one WCRU would be $1,250. It's easily calculated amount. Just divide 100 trillion by 80 billion tokens, you'll get this particular value or number. But here we're talking about the profits, what kind of profits it will yield. And on the next slide, we will try to show to you how you can calculate it. Well, according to the law of money, with such progress, the profit might be 1% of the value of the portfolio. From 100 trillion, it's what? 1 trillion. So imagine that we fast forward to 2028 and the profits of the company over the current month is $1 trillion. So we vote, one person, one vote, decide that out of 1 trillion, we receive 50% payment as our dividend income, profi-bonus. So we do the math. 15% of $1 trillion is $150 billion, then divided by the overall number of tokens, which means that income per one token equals 1.8 or not even $9, so $2. So imagine that you have 1,000 WCRUs in your possession, then your accruals per 1 month will be $1,875. Do you like such an income? Well, of course, you can multiply that number of 1.875 WCRUs per the number of tokens you hold, and then you will see what kind of a passive income you can expect, what kind of options, income options, this unique token WCRU offers. So in my opinion, if your strategy, if your vector is about you wanting to receive passive income, consider this token WCRU, assess all of its opportunities, because out of everything that I've just discussed and told you about, and let's focus on those things, we have several income options. The first one is that even being frozen, WCRU token can still yield you reward. UNTBs if you stake them. So a frozen token gives you another token, which you receive as a reward for staking. And that token also has its own capitalization level. And it will also grow in price. In 1 year, in 5, 10 years, it will have a bigger price. And you already can receive that income today just for depositing your frozen token. Then you have loyalty program bonuses, profi bonuses, and you receive those bonuses in USDU tokens. We will talk about the USDU token as well and underline some characteristics that are not really that simple as it may seem at the first glance. And then the portfolio is constantly growing. The number of businesses and projects in it is growing, and the value of those businesses is growing too, which adds to the capitalization of the portfolio. If you calculate over the short period of us being in the market, the growth of all the projects in the portfolio and its capitalization, you will be quite impressed with the numbers. But in future, I'm sure that that value is going to be even higher. So some people might say that the portfolio investment or portfolio-based investment is not a very good thing because the processes are very slow. Well, I guess I tend to agree here. But let's take an example. Imagine you want to invest and you decided to invest into agricultural sector. You have like $10,000 and you decided to invest all of those 10,000 into one project. Let's say it's gonna be a cherry orchard garden, and then orchard tree, cherry tree. And then another person, a neighbor of yours, decided to invest the same amount, $10,000, but he diversified. He bought a smaller number of cherry trees, but at the same time, they bought some potatoes to plant, strawberries, some grain plants. Well, of course, if you would get a good harvest, you will make quite a lot of money from your cherry trees. But imagine the year is not that good and the harvest is bad, or the winter was very strong, or the winter came, or the summer came too late. And then you lose your garden and you don't get any money or even become in debt. Whereas the person who invested with diversification, they will receive probably less money from each particular project, but over time, they will receive way more, and their assets will be growing in value. So those of you who would like to look towards diversification, you can do so. You can go and look at different projects. Whereas if you would like to receive passive income, truly passive income, go for a diversified portfolio, as in the case of our portfolio. So we, as the owners of the co-owners of a global investment portfolio and holders of WCRU, can really expect quite a good life of our dreams. Go on vacation, make money passively, and spend more time with our family, and so on and so forth. And all of it is offered by the WCRU token. And this is the first token out of the 4 tokens. Let's go to the next slide. One more. Okay. Yeah, let's go to the UNTB slide. Yes. So let's take a look at the UNTB token. It's a blockchain token. It has a totally different function, a totally different status, and different kind of advantages that it offers. The issue of this token is equal to 123,456,789 over 10 years. I repeat, 10 years is the period of issuance. Now the question is, do we want our blockchain crypto unit work for 10 years or more? So give me a number in the chat for how many years you would like our blockchain to be operational. I see already some feedback in the Russian and English room. Thank you very much for your response, guys. I do agree, 10,000 years is a very good period. And for our crypto wallets to be operational on that blockchain, we need to have UNTB tokens, because without that token, the wallet will not work. UNTB tokens is the necessary resource for our crypto wallets on our blockchain. That's why everyone who has a wallet on our blockchain needs to have a pool of UNTB tokens. And also it is liquid from the start and can be traded on the Unitex exchange. So you can literally pass it from hands to hands. At the same time, a certain number of those tokens, UNTB, will be very important for legal entities and businesses that would like to tokenize their capitals, their assets. I don't think it is a secret that quite a lot of companies are thinking about tokenizing their assets, the values that the company has. So in other words, they would like to turn them into digital assets on the blockchain. And here, I would like to clarify that it is not only about the work of crypto wallets, but for a legal entity to join the blockchain, to tokenize their assets on the blockchain, they simply have to have a reserved pool of UNTB tokens. And this is going to be the so-called untouchable reserve, the one you cannot really use. It's frozen. And do you think the number of such reserved tokens is going to be big? And if it's big, how it will affect the demand for the UNTBs and the price? Do you think with such a big demand, the price will increase? So give me a plus in the chat if you think that the increased demand will affect the increase in the price as well. Thank you very much. Thank you for agreeing with me. Yes, I'm also pretty sure that if there are people, business entities that need that token and it is in demand, then for sure it will facilitate the increase in the value of that token. Also, this token is going to be quite important for those who would like to issue their tokens on the blockchain crypto unit. So either you tokenize the already existing assets or issue completely new tokens. And in other words, you will need those UNTBs not only to maintain and have your crypto wallets, but also to have a reserved pool of UNTBs. And this token is in demand, and the value of that token will be quite high. So if we take an example that you heard at the last webinar, it's like Ivan gave the similarity with the gasoline. Imagine that some owner, silly owner of the token, did not keep a big enough reserve of tokens, and they operate their wallet and they don't have any tokens, free tokens in reserve, and they run out of those tokens. And imagine at a certain point they run out of tokens and there is no one who would like to share their free tokens with them, with that guy. So the consequences could be quite severe. So just determine your strategy and see why you need those UNTBs. So let's see how this UNTB is issued or mined. Well, the company rewards three categories of people. The first one are those who promote and maintain the technical capabilities of the token. Those guys are called miners. And out of the all tokens that are mined, 5% go to miners. It is their reward for their efforts. 95% of the tokens go to people who stake their tokens. And they can stake two kind of tokens. The first token is the frozen WCRU. Even if it's frozen, you can stake it. And the second one is unlocked or unfrozen CRU. We're going to talk about it more in detail today. So if you staked those two types of tokens, you share in the reward of those 95% of issued tokens. Mining happens every half a second, and every half a second, allocation happens. If someone wants to sell their tokens on the exchange, then you can go to that exchange and buy those tokens. So those are three ways that you can receive that token, either through staking or purchasing it on the exchange, if people who own it want to sell it, and miners. Just it's up to you whether you want to sell it or hold it. And if you want to sell it, decide how many. And here, let's take an example at figures, how the mining of UNTB happens. At the launch, 80 UNTBs per second were issued. It's 160. It's 207,360,000 in 30 days, multiplied by 95% that go as a reward to people who staked their WCRUs or CRUs, you get 196,992,992,000 UNTBs. So back then, only 1.5 billion of CRUs were staked, which means that people received 0.13 UNTBs per token. So if you had 10,000 WCRUs, your income in 1 month would be 1,300 UNTBs for staking, reward for staking. But the mining is slowing down. You can see that the mining will be going on for 10 years. And as in the case of Bitcoin, it slows down. At the moment, the current mining rate is 48 UNTBs per second. And you see that the difference is quite huge now. Now it's 124,416,000 are mined in 30 days and then multiplied by 95%, which goes to the people who take their WCRUs and CRUs. You can see that it's 118,195,200 UNTBs are allocated as reward for staking. But again, guys, the number of WCRUs and CRUs staked have increased. At first, it was 1.5 billion, 1.5 billion. Now it's, look, 23 billion. So now per one token, you get only 0.005 UNTBs. And if you have 10,000 WCRUs, you get only 50 UNTBs per month. Compare it to the launch phase of 1,300. Also, I wanted to add here that starting from September, the 95% will not be there anymore. Miners will receive, I think, 50%. Their reward will increase significantly. And you will see that the rate will be changing literally in front of your eyes. People who staked their tokens will be, people will be receiving way fewer tokens. So the speed of making a decision is quite important here. It will affect your income. So think about it. So why UNTB token is good? in addition to it, ensuring the operation of crypto wallets, ensuring the computational possible capabilities. It's like gasoline for a car. It has also its own intrinsic value, and that value will change over time. And we already determined that. It also allows people who are interested in additional income to trade it as well. If your strategy is about trading and you enjoyed it, then you can use it as an additional source of income. There is another important thing that I would like to draw attention to, is that many people who took the training in the Academy of Private Investing know how important it is to have the rainy day check, amount, the so-called safety pillow. And then the question is, in what currency I should keep my rainy day fund? And here is again, we have the issue of diversification. The more different currencies and assets you keep your rainy day fund in, the better. So if you keep your rainy day fund in crypto, then think about UNTBs as well. Maybe in your country, the national currency is dollars or euros. In Ukraine, it's hryvnia. So part of my rainy day fund is kept in the national currency. But usually, the national currencies tend to devaluate. And the national budget every year will see that this is the amount by which the currency is going to depreciate, and this is the amount, the deposit rate that people will be receiving. And again, usually if depreciation or devaluation happens, it doesn't happen really like overnight. You can see the trend. Whereas with cryptocurrencies, the rapid increase in price can happen literally overnight. Like next minute, it can skyrocket. And people, they usually, those professional traders, they use such a term as how many X's, like how many times a cryptocurrency has increased. And the UNTB is quite an interesting token in that regard. It can become a part of your strategy as well. Hopefully, everything has been clear so far to you. And you can compare it to fiat money or paper money of your particular country. And then we can go to the next token. Please change the slides.
And this is USDU token, or a stable coin. Stable coin of Cryptounit-Blockchain. Please tell me if you already got your accruals of profi-bonus or loyalty bonus in this token, USDU. Do we have such people? Yes, we do. And again, it has its own unique features. Firstly, why is it called stable? Because it always equals to $1 US. 1 USDU equals to $1 US. But its great advantage is that it is secured cryptocurrency. It is backed by the tangible assets in a bank. If you follow the news of crypto industry, you may have seen the news yesterday about the SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, that actually approved WCRU token, and how serious this SEC looking at coins. And do you know what it will supervise? The backing of these coins. And if you know the Cryptounit-Blockchain and have your crypto wallets, we are fine. Our USDU token is a secured currency. Next slide, please. Well, here are some other benefits of USDU token. You may transfer instantly from one wallet to another with 0 fees charged. Well, money transfer is free, and quite likely some of you consumed such a service with fiat money, maybe in the banking system of the same bank, when you transfer from one card to another one and there is no fee. But if you want to make a transfer to a user from a different bank, can you do it for free? Do you know the pattern, the scheme, how you can make a transfer of fiat money from one country to another one for free? Share this in the chat box if you know these schemes. I don't see. Quite likely there is no such a system. But look, we are all who are on the same blockchain. So there is no field which country you transfer. So if you made your transfers, have you ever seen this field? Therefore, you can transfer money with no border limitations. And there is another important point. Through the payment system, which is called Global Unit Pay, it could be transferred into the money you need today. Look, not kept in a bank. This is another insurance, I believe. And you simply transfer or withdraw the currency you need, but in future, the goal of the company is to make USDU a stable coin #1 for inter-blockchain exchanges and transfers. It will be like inter-currency, inter-blockchain coin, USDU token, Cryptounit blockchain token. Therefore, let's explore these benefits, and honestly speaking, USDU token, which has been launched recently, it's like the countdown when the spaceship is going to take off. And hopefully we together will see it flying, in the process of flying higher and higher. And the last, fourth Cryptounit blockchain token, this is the CRU, Cryptounit token, CRU token, which is a utility token or technical token. And what are the benefits of a CRU token? The first benefit is that its issue on the market is complete. And if we know that it can be converted into world CRU, then its number may reduce rather than increase. World CRUs are 80 billion and they will be released to the market gradually. So the issue of CRU token is complete. And in the unfrozen liquid state, this token generates passive income as UNTB token. And there is another very important benefit. Hopefully you will understand it. Those legal entities or businesses who would like to set up partnership with the global investment portfolio of you, the prerequisite for them is to own, hold CRU tokens and naturally stake them, and it will be their reserve for the entire period of cooperation and collaboration, so that the partnership may develop. And this is a very important thing to understand and consider. And let us once again discuss it. Partnerships will be built based on the assets kept by these businesses in the form of Cryptounit staking, Cryptounit staked. And this token, as of today, is a part of digital guarantees. So a bit later, we will come back to this theme. So as the collateral or as security, as an asset. Another piece of news which we are impatient to find out, since October, CRU token holders will be able to become miners and promote Cryptounit blockchain through mining, meaning that they will be the owners of nodes, a special equipment which supports the capacity of blockchain, keeps blockchain in operation. And CRU token will enable us to become a miner. And what is the prospect of the use of such? UNTB says 50% of mining, so 50% is kept for miners. Is it a good business or not? If you agree, give me your favorite number, that this is quite beneficial for miners. Yes, thank you for your feedback, for your responses, for your agreeing with me. And who knows, maybe someone out of you will become a miner starting from September this year. But do you believe that it will impact the value of Cryptounit? If there is this interest of miners, and when businesses are interested in establishing partnership with the new global investment portfolio, this is the demand generated for this token. But those who don't want to become a miner, don't want to establish partnerships, we have a possibility to stake our CRU tokens and some years after convert them into World CRU token and again get our passive income. That's great. And now let's have a look at the schemes of the strategies for the use of CRU tokens. So we tried to explain the difference. When CRUs are staked, then these CRUs generate another token with high capitalization, and that is UNTB token. If you today understand that CRU token is undervalued, then if you saw the first session on the fundamentals of blockchain by Ivan Polyanchik, he explained the strategy of earning on blockchain, and one of the strategies was to freeze. But you know, it's not the very attractive option not to stake it. But look, in case someone believes that tomorrow I need some amount and I will not be able to unstake, as the unstaking period is up to 72 hours. And therefore, you may keep some number of CRU tokens in your reserve as a buffer. And you may wait for the attractive price and convert it or exchange into the currency you would like. So next slide, please. And since it is traded at Unitex exchange and there is some volatility, meaning that the price of it is volatile, going up and down, going up and down, down and up, and meaning that you can buy it cheap and sell it expensive. And you get some profits. So you may get USDU, or you may do something else, or convert USDU into other tokens, or expand your ownership of cryptocurrencies, diversify, and through trading, all this is possible, or wait for some time and convert it in 2024 into World CRU, and it will generate passive income as well. And I believe that we are more or less clear about this topic, and now let's explore the impacts of interest in one token on the value of other tokens. This is the slide about this. Let's assume that the sales of World CRU tokens are carried out by UGPay Group AG, and to stake tokens, you are to place them on blockchain. But to create your crypto wallet, what do you need? UNTB tokens. And accordingly, when you start, you may buy them. And you may buy them at Unitex exchange. The more people who buy this token, and then the more people buy World CRU and place them on blockchain, the higher the demand for UNTB. Cryptocurrency is a unique topic because the demand seriously affects the value. Do you agree that the higher the demand is, the higher the value in this particular case of UNTB token will be? If yes, if you agree, give me 100%. In the event, the number of blockchain wallets increase, which means that the number of people increases that are interested in crypto industry. And there is a growth in the number of exchange users, meaning there are movements both on exchange and blockchain. Do you believe that it will definitely impact the profits of the global investment portfolio and accordingly the value of World CRU token? Do you agree? Give me a plus if you do. Well, we are like-minded people. So this is the first assumption, the first scenario. So different tokens, but they are interlinked, as you see. So the next slide and the next assumption, the next scenario. So there is a business interested in partnership with the global investment portfolio, and they join us as the business partner, but they need CRU token, which could be bought at Unitex exchange. They should be posted on Cryptounit-Blockchain, and then the scheme is the same. The higher the interest of users, consumers in Cryptounit token, will it impact its value? Definitely it will. And the purchase of UNTB token will impact the value of UNTB. The more transactions there are at the exchange and the higher the values of CRU token and UNTB token, it will impact the value of World CRU token and accordingly our income, our profits. So this is another way these tokens are interlinked. I have the third example for you. When tokens are USDU tokens are interested. There is an interest in the payment system transfers. Today, there are a lot of people who would like to make money transfer instantly from different countries. This is a highly demanded niche of the global investment portfolio that will enable us to expand it and generate high profits. Well, where can you get USDU? At Unitex exchange or as an accrual of your loyalty bonus or profi-bonus on the World CRU assets you have in your portfolio. And this loop is again closed. So these tokens are interlinked. Therefore, these four tokens, they are like a chorus, singing in different voices, but that supports each other. and they help to develop them individually and the global investment portfolio in general. Great that we've studied all these 4 tokens: World CRU, UNTB, USDU, and CRU tokens, and you've seen that they have their own target audiences, and there is the demand. Hopefully you are not very tired, as there is the second part of this session about smart contracts. And here, let us have a look at the definition of a smart contract. So this is a contract as a software code between 2 or more signatories. The terms and conditions of the contracts are developed in advance and cannot be broken by the parties, as the fulfillment of these terms and conditions is controlled by the software, not by a third party, as in case of standard agreements. In other words, smart contract is a contract which is quite common to a paper format. So the smart contract is a contract between the parties, not in a paper format, but on blockchain. So what benefits does it open? First of all, automatization of the process of control over the fulfillment of the terms and conditions under the contract. Automatization, automatic supervision of the fulfillment. And here I'd like to give you an example of my understanding of a smart contract. In summer, when you have a rest, when you go to a seacoast, to a beach, unfortunately, sometimes you may see a lot of adolescents who may drink beer. Although in my country, there is a law that under 18, sales of cigarettes and alcohol are forbidden to adolescents. But what happens? How do they manage to get access to these hazardous goods and habits, dangerous habits? Quite likely, this is because of salespersons who do not request their ID to make sure that they are over age, or they are greedy. They simply want to generate more revenues. But let us imagine the same situation when the sales of these 2 goods will be controlled under the smart contract. Even technically, it's not difficult. Because of one reason. Many people today pay with their bank cards, and at the cashier terminal, you may identify the holder. If all this is controlled by the smart contract, do you believe that the situation may change radically? Give me zeros if you do believe. Thank you. Look, only one application of a smart contract in one situation. How will it change the circumstances of our life? It will improve our lives. So it's great when smart contracts provide these benefits. So exclusion of this human factor, the third party involved in the process, enables this. What is another example of the importance of the use of smart contracts? You know, I know that contracts are signed, they are entered into, and we come to them, to these contracts, to agreements, only when there are some violations by any of the parties of this agreement. When everything is fine, we may not even read the terms and conditions of the contract. And in these situations, we resort to the agreements. And generally, the provision is the following. In case of any conflicts, you must settle them down in accordance with the legislation. Are there people here who actually faced such challenges in their partnerships when you had some contracts and there were some contract breaches? Give me tens if you faced such situations. And when we start this dispute resolution under the terms and conditions of the contract, it is time consuming, you will agree. It takes additional financial resources, and it is very nervous process, full of negative emotions. But in case there is a smart contract in place, it will enable us to avoid these situations, because the terms and conditions of this contract, and when one party meets its obligations, it results in meeting of the obligations by the other party. So in general, this is the address of many issues. And on Cryptounit Cryptounit blockchain allows us to apply smart contracts. It is one of its benefits. How many people, legal entities, would like to apply smart contracts instead of a written contract? What do you think? Many people. What happens now around us? Isn't it the condition that makes us sign smart contracts to have all the terms and conditions of these contracts met by all the parties? Give me 13 in the chat if you agree. Hopefully you are not tired and fed up with me. And in the next slide, I'd like to stress some other benefits of smart contract.
Well, first of all, it allows for secure, traceable, and guaranteed transactions, because it is all based on blockchain without the involvement of third parties, which allows you to save money. It increases the speed at which obligations are met, and a smart contract contains all the information about the terms and conditions of the contract, and all the actions provided for in the contract are carried out automatically. And on the next slide, let's take a look at the examples. Please go to the next slide. I tried to come up with several examples, several cases, how a smart contract can be applied. First of all, bonus accruals, like profi-bonus or loyalty program bonus. It can be all done through a smart contract, quickly and efficiently. It can also be salaries and wages. For example, let's say there is personnel that receives a salary through the bank, and sometimes it happens, we're talking about, lack of honesty between humans. Some banks can do the following. If the company's money are kept in the bank for 1-2 days extra, they start charging interest depending on the amount of money. And sometimes, unfortunately, it happens when the company has money on the account, but the salary is delayed because the company would like to have extra money on the interest, from the interest, but people don't get their salary in time. It's not good. So if everything is moved to a smart contract, then such delays will not be possible. The date has come, there is a smart contract, the salary is accrued, no delays. Also, smart contract can control the so-called unfreezing, thawing of tokens. For example, WCRU gets unfrozen in 365 days, 1% per month. It is also written, can be written in the smart contract. Let's take a look at some cases from real life. Imagine two people. One person is selling an apartment and the second one is buying an apartment. So what kind of opportunities a smart contract can offer in this kind of deal? For the person who is selling their apartment or flat, as the British people say, they want to make sure, they need to be sure that they will receive money for the sale of the apartment, whereas the buyer would like to be sure that when they pay, they receive the real title deed to the property, in this case, the apartment. So when it is controlled by the smart contract, so what happens is the title to the apartment is blocked and the amount of money is blocked as well. And if the money is sufficient, that money goes to the seller, and immediately the smart contract through the registry changes the owner of the apartment, and the buyer receives legal title to the apartment confirmed by documents that he or she is the new owner of the apartment. The deal has been executed. In other words, it guarantees the correct fulfillment of the terms and conditions of the contract. That's what can ensure that everything is transparent and honest. Or you can buy an apartment through the bank. There is a buyer, there is a seller, and the buyer, for example, doesn't have enough money, then a third party comes in, which is a bank. So we have three parties to a smart contract. The bank pays the difference or issues a loan to the buyer, and that money goes to the seller. And again, the buyer receives the title to the apartment, and the bank receives the guarantee that the loan will be paid back. So the smart contract worked, and everyone is happy, and their interests have been insured. So I had a chat with a friend of mine. She rents out an apartment. The rentees have moved out ahead of time and didn't pay for the period. And they also stole some property from the apartment too. So if everything was controlled by the smart contract, it would be way easier and more transparent. As soon, so only after there is confirmation that the tenants paid for the apartment, the apartment would become available to the landlord. So let's see how else a smart contract can be of use to us. Online shopping. Well, all of us did use online shopping, right? So on the one side, we are buying something, and the first step here might be sometimes us paying money for the goods. Well, in principle, because we're taking this step, we're taking a risk. Why? Because the goods might never be delivered to us. The goods might get lost on the way. And then we'll have to prove that we did move that money, and then we have to that we did pay that money, and that we are entitled to the goods. And then if you use a smart contract, in this case, only after you pay for the goods, and only after the smart contracts make sure that the goods are available and have been shipped, or you have received them, the money goes to the seller. A lot of different situations can be really made way more simple thanks to a smart contract. So let's take air tickets. There are situations, for example, we were coming back from Italy to home, and we purchased the air tickets, and then when we're about to board, we found out that the seats had not been allocated to us. There were two of us, and there were 2 seats and 10 people claiming the same seat. If we had used a smart contract, then the company or the travel agency would not be able to sell the same ticket to 10 different people. So I paid my money, therefore I'm guaranteed to have my seat. Well, sometimes, a seat might cost more because it's the window seat or the aisle, etc. But, you would never be in a situation when you simply don't get to fly home. Smart contract would avoid that. Sometimes flights are delayed, and it can also be very important. And with the smart contract, some money would go back to you if the flight is delayed for a couple of minutes, or the entire amount gets reimbursed if the delay is 1 or 2 or more hours. I think it would be great, right? So do you think those smart contracts would remove some stress from our life if all those deals, all those transactions were executed with a smart contract? If you agree, give me a 10 in the chat, please. Okay, another situation that might come up. Well, here we were talking about private individuals, natural persons. But there are also cases when smart contracts can be useful for legal entities. Say you are depositing money in a bank or with a bank. Smart depositors, they know that if the bank is a part of the insurance scheme, then the money will be reimbursed if the bank goes bankrupt. But for example, in Ukraine, you can claim part of the money because you need to know that there are a lot of people that might be in the same situation, would like to have their deposits back. But say a bank is a member of the digital guarantees system. We make a deposit, and the bank, with their digital assets or values placed on the blockchain, guarantees that the deposit will be returned to us if the bank goes bankrupt. So do you like more the fact that the bank is part of the insurance scheme, deposit insurance scheme, or when the bank is part of the digital guarantees scheme, when everything is on blockchain? So continuing this logic, the bank is also an investor, correct? So if the bank as an investor uses their own digital guarantees or digital assets, to guarantee the performance of their obligations, do you think they will demand that their partners will fulfill their obligations by using partners' assets? Of course, yeah. Of course they will. So this whole chain will be continued, the logical chain. But I'm running ahead of myself with the topic of digital guarantees, but I'm very fond of this topic. Just think about it, how it's going to change the whole business environment and the business relations, the blockchain technology, smart contract, digital guarantees. Let's jump one slide and go to the smart digital guarantees right away. One more, please, in the English room. Thanks. Digital guarantees. It's a technology implemented on blockchain with the use of smart contracts, and we have here assets, obligations. The performance of obligations are guaranteed by digital guarantees, which use 4 tokens as collateral, namely CRU, UNTB, USDU, WCRU. All those assets can be considered as collateral for the performance of obligations. And that whole logical chain that we've just discussed from the bank to the final user now involves a lot of different legal entities, like participation in public procurement tenders or corporate tenders as well, because the performance is guaranteed by a digital asset. And the relationships here will be built not only on trust, but all partner relations will also be built on guarantees, on the assurance of performance. And I think this is quite a solid, really serious step in our financial evolution. Remember, back in the day, all fiat money were backed by the assets the country has. And then in 1970s, we abandoned this system. And now see what kind of inflation we're having. It changes the world. Whereas here, the digital guarantees can offer really good advantages and benefits for mutually beneficial cooperation and partnership relations, which were impossible, have been impossible until now. So what does a digital guarantee give us people? When everything is fine, we are good. We're using all the advantages and benefits, but then sometimes an act of God happens, force majeure. Imagine it happened. Some exigency, I don't know. And you are in a big shortage of money. You need money. But you have digital assets, but you don't have a digital guarantee. Then the question is that you will have to literally sell part of your digital assets to get your hands on some fiat money. You might not have any way out. But if you have a digital rating in your digital guarantees, then in the same situation when you're in shortage of money, you can guarantee the performance of your loan obligations using your digital assets as collateral. Or, for example, it might not necessarily be a loan. It might be, I don't know, the purchase of medical services. Even like you go to the dentist office and you do some real dental work. You have lots of teeth to be filled in. You go to the dentist and they tell you, look, this is the amount of money you have to pay. You have part of it, and then the rest is you don't have it. So if you don't have digital guarantees, a digital rating, you'll have to sell some of your digital assets. But if you're part of the digital guarantees scheme, and if you have digital assets, the dentist might tell you, okay, I can take some of your digital assets as collateral, and you will be paying me the difference, paying me my fee in installments gradually. Both parties are happy because you don't have to sell your asset. This asset still yields you income. For example, if it's WCRU tokens and you stake them, you receive UNTBs. And instead of having to sell your WCRUs, you will be selling your UNTBs. Or, for example, you will receive profi-bonus, dividend income, and that income will allow you to pay off your debts without having to sell your capital. You see? And this is great, I think. Let's talk about the relations between legal entities. Imagine I'm a business and I'm placing an order with a plant, factory. I make an advance payment and then I wait for the obligations to be performed by the plant. It may take them, I don't know, a month to produce the goods that I ordered, or maybe more, depending on the conditions. Maybe it can be components, I don't know. And now let's imagine that we are both parties of the digital guarantees scheme through smart contracts. So when I transfer my advance payment to the plant, I'm sure that the plant is now checked whether they have the components, whether they have the same value of digital asset equal to the amount that I paid for my order. And unless or until they perform the order, the assets will be locked. It will guarantee for me as a client the performance of my order by the factory, right? So now imagine you have like dozens, hundreds, thousands of such companies and businesses, and all of them have their own partnership relations. And they say, look, I'm in the digital guarantee scheme. Are you interested? Do you want to become my partner? Then do join. And now let's think about it. If digital guarantees is backed by 4 tokens, say 2 of them, CRU and UNTBs. Will it increase the demand for those 2 tokens? Will those tokens be in demand in the market in order to provide the execution of smart contracts and the provision of digital guarantees? Do you think it's going to be interesting for people and businesses? Give me one in the chat if you think it is or it will. Good. There are lots of people that... I'm sorry, guys, I lost the sound. I'm sorry, I lost the sound. Okay, we're back online. Let's just give a second, okay? The Russian room has been rebooted. Because of the huge popularity of this kind of webinars. Guys, I think it has something to do with Doom, and I hope that now we are back online. Everyone, good. So let's just give it a couple of seconds for the slides to be back on as well. And where were we? I think it was market trends, right? Just give us a second for the slides to be back on.
Hopefully it's clearer to you and you understand better blockchain technologies and how relevant they are in our today's life, as many paper databases and registries, when they are kept on blockchain, they help us resolve a lot of challenges. And the use of the daily use of smart contracts offers a lot of benefits for us, for businesses, and this is a new level of relationships, not only trust, but monitoring of the completion of all the obligations. And there are a lot of opportunities offered by the digital guarantee. The advantages that it offers, it's not the takeoff of the space rocket. This is simply a desire to take off, because the power of all this is unique. And hopefully now we will start sharing our slides, trends on the market, If not, then I will speak from myself. Hopefully you all agree that the market trends as of today is transition of governments, businesses, registries onto the blockchain. And we have a unique blockchain, our Cryptounit blockchain, which combines all these benefits in one place. And not only these benefits, there are a lot of others. And it means that it will generate income to WCRU token holders. And please note that WCRU token has another unique feature. It gives us a right to not to get a loan for something, like you invest into something and then you generate some percentage and afterwards your money is paid back. No, this is co-ownership. This is another unique feature. We are co-owners of the global investment portfolio, and this feature of this security token is very unique. And I haven't seen something similar across the globe. Therefore, we are very impatient for October to come, when some of the products, opportunities, technologies that are part of the global investment portfolio will be exhibited at Crypto Expo Dubai 2021. And I'm so happy, would be happy to attend that exhibition, but who knows? But I believe that if not visiting it personally, then we could see it online as a recording, the speech of the person who created all this, Andrei Havratov, our CEO. And I will be looking forward to his speech at Crypto Expo Dubai 2021 together with you, where the payment system Global Unit Pay will be presented, which I'm sure has a bright future. And to sum up our today's meeting, I'd like to remind you that Cryptounit-Blockchain is a reliable partner, is a technology that brings together segments of the global investment portfolio, including cryptocurrency exchange, digital guarantees, investment education, payment instruments, and everything that will be invested, which means that through co-ownership, it makes the co-ownership of WCRU token unique, promising, and market leading. It makes it a market trend. I'm very happy that today I managed to present this information to you interested, and would like to remind you that our course is composed of 5 sessions. This is session number 3. There will be another 2. So session number 4 will be next Tuesday about the updated Crypto Explorer. All those mistakes we would like to change, it will be updated, and we will be able to look at all those there will be one more session, the 5th one, but please remember that if you are an active partner, you may get the gifts 10,000 UNTB, so that it is all possible. The first condition, if you cannot do it, so you are to contact a person who invited you, or you got this information on YouTube, then you must come in contact with World CRU token holders and get the registration link to sign up in UGPay group back office. So if you are already there, then help those who haven't signed up yet. So help them do it. And these are the simple conditions for you to get the gifts. First of all, if you are unregistered user, register with UGPay group and go through verification on your account. Please give me the indication if we can hear you. So there is some technical hiccup because we can hear the Spanish translators in the Russian room. I'm very happy and pleased to see in the chat boxes your responses, your compliments, your feedback. Hopefully my session will be useful, but let's come back to the terms and conditions for getting gifts. First of all, if you are not signed up yet, then sign up and verify. If you are already signed up and verified, then top up your wallet in your UGPay group back office with at least $10 to make a purchase of World CRU token. Then you create a crypto wallet on the Cryptounit blockchain. And remember that you get 10 UNTB as a gift to your wallet and then pass the test. The test will include those questions that were studied during 5 sessions. So the test will be compiled based on the information studied during our 5 sessions. So you select the answer, and if you are the first one, then you get our gift, our prize, that is 10,000 UNTB tokens. If you fail to be the first one, there could be a lot of such people. You simply get some gifts. 50 UNTB token if your test performance is 100%. If your test performance is 90%, you receive 35 UNTB. If your test performance is 75%, you get 20 UNTB. And for everyone who passes the test by over 75% performance, gets a 20% discount on the products of the Academy of Private Investor. You may use a promo code that will be valid until the 30th of September. Well, and I believe and I hope that we can meet each of you as the qualified investor. Maybe you would like to have a new start, a new profession, and there you can get a lot of benefits. I do understand and know that we need digital guarantees. Guys, it's great that we will be able to meet all these conditions, but the most valuable gift is the knowledge we gain from everywhere during this course, and not only at all those webinars that are arranged and held by the company. This knowledge is the invaluable prize for you. This is your self-investment that will pay back definitely. Well, we've done with today's session, and I promised to explain to you the topic of our session number 5. It will be about the collaboration between blockchain partners, how they impact each other, who are they, how they influence the value of World CRU. I hope that this topic will be interesting, and the period for the purchase of World CRU with $10 is within the duration of this course. If starting from session 1 until the test, if you bought WCRU for at least $10, you may pass the tests. Tests could be found in the back offices. They will be translated into all the languages we have today, and therefore you will be able to pass it. So if there are any further questions, we still have some time left, and you can ask all your questions. So a very good test, as Maya in the Russian room says, while we are testing ourselves, we are improving. Do we have any questions? Let us discuss. Where can I get the recording? Where are the recordings for all the 5 webinars? So this recording is broadcast on YouTube channel right away, and you can find it in the official news channels of the company. So all the recordings will be publicly available, and I recommend you to watch them, as before the test starts, there will be a few days gap, and you may refresh your memory and pass a test. And organizers will share the recordings with you in the chat. So as far as I understand, there are no questions. Everything is clear. The test starts on the 22nd of August, within 3 days. On the 22nd of August, the news will be available in the back office. Follow the news and you will be ready for it. $10 to buy WCRU. This is the condition to get a gift, to be eligible for getting a gift. If you want the gift, then you must meet this condition. But if you simply want to test yourself, then pass a test, but without a gift. There is a question about a business partner. I believe that one of the problems is that quite often we want to be ahead and get the information which is not available yet about the future, about the plans, how it will look like. Therefore, those business partners who would like to become partners of the global investment portfolio, let's wait for the terms and conditions. There will be some specific amounts indicated, and you will know all the details. I believe so that we should do everything timely. So when it is a reality, there are no expectations not met. There is a question. I will read it out. What would you recommend to a newcomer who haven't heard of the company yet? Where to start from and which contribution to prepare? Look, honestly speaking, the answer to this question depends on what you would like to get. Why you join the company? If you want to develop as a leader, or to develop your structure, your network, then you must study all those options, and you must study an option of educations and training and what can promote him. In this supermarket of opportunities of business propositions, you may select any you like. Pick up a product you love and develop with it. And there is such a possibility. If you want to travel freely and to have a wealthy retirement at any age, then this business model or opportunity could be treated as a source of passive income. And then you must figure out which investment portfolio you need that sometime after will generate the income you need. So contact the person who invited you to this webinar, talk to him. This frank dialogue will be a good start for your business, and you can develop a strategy that will make you successful. The first World CRU will be unfrozen after 365 days from the date you purchase them on. What is the difference between stakers and miners? Stakers are the people who stake. You have an asset. It may be a World CRU or CRU, and it generates some income, like an interest on your bank deposit. And here is on blockchain, you earn UNTB, whereas miners cooperate with the technology. This is a different technology. They support this technology, some technical technologies. So it supports the development of blockchain. These are two groups of people, those who may stake their assets. We are more numerous in number, so it's easier, it's simpler. But for miners, there will be some conditions to meet to become a miner. So therefore, please distinguish between them. What is the idea behind the voting on blockchain? Look, today I already told you that profi-bonuses are accrued in accordance with the results of the voting. One person casts one vote. So this is the voting about the percentage of the profits of the company generated in this month to be distributed as profit bonus. There will be other types of voting, and we will learn about them as well and can participate in them. When will World CRU be available at our exchange? A good question. If you know, the exclusive right to sell World CRU tokens belongs to UGPay Group, and it is released onto the market frozen. And this period of being frozen is 365 days. And therefore, none have liquid World CRU token that could be traded at the exchange. As soon as there are the first World CRU tokens unfrozen, then they will be available and could be traded at the exchange. Why? The price of conversion of CRU into World CRU is so high? Well, a good question. Thank you very much. You know, let's be frank, at least to ourselves. The time needed to convert with zero commission was enough. It was enough for this. All those who wanted, they took advantage of this possibility. If you still hold some crypto units, then quite likely you wanted to sell them. And since today this conversion rate is not attractive to you, really, it's true, but look, the price is volatile as well. It may go up, down, it may skyrocket, and when it skyrockets, imagine that 1 month after, the price of Cryptounit is $1 or $2. Are you sure? Are you certain that subject to this Cryptounit price, you would be willing to exchange it into World CRU, convert it into World CRU, or sell it? Answer this question to yourself. If you want to convert it, then wait for some time. You can get UNTB after staking it, and 3 years after, in 2024, you may convert it. But today, there is another status. And therefore, it's not the matter of being cheap or expensive. It's a matter of your strategy and company's strategy. And if your strategy is this one, or you see that it is not good one, make some adjustments.
Well, I don't see any more questions. That would be new. So I would like to thank you all for your time, your attention, well, and for attending this webinar. I would like to express my huge gratitude to all those people from technical support that made this whole event possible for us to get together and have a chat. Also, I would like to express my gratitude to the translation department, because guys, were it not for your efforts in translating these slides really fast, and I'm very grateful for that work. And also I'm thankful to our simultaneous interpreters, because without our joint efforts, this whole thing wouldn't be possible. And yet we did have it, and we had this nice opportunity to have this very useful conversation. Well, let me take one more last question. Should I create a second wallet on the blockchain? And should I create my seed phrase? Well, of course, it is also worth having a second wallet for another purpose, Maybe not, it wasn't clear for everyone why it is important to have two wallets. The main wallet, which you are going to use as a vault, safe. And the second one for your work. Very often people ask us, what do we really own? Like, what is the number of our tokens? For example, when we invite other people to this company, those people ask you, so how many tokens do you have? Like, what's your amount of investment, and so on and so forth. So when you move tokens from wallet to wallet, so the person can see how many tokens you have, because when you give your wallet address, you literally give them information about how many tokens you have. So this is what kind of, this is one more reason why you should open a second wallet. For example, if you want to move some tokens to another person, you move those tokens through this dummy or operational wallet. It's like having a virtual bank card, like an intermediate wallet. It's in order to ensure the protection of your wallet from third parties, so that third parties wouldn't know how much you own. It's like a working horse, that you use and that everyone should use when you move tokens around. Okay, so hopefully I did answer your question. Thank you very much for your guys' attention, to the technical support, the translators and interpreters, to you, my dear audience. It was a real pleasure for me to share this information. This was my first experience. Hopefully it has been successful. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.